Welcome back to the Lifetimes Podcast. I'm your host, Lloyd Phillips.
Hi, I'm Leighton Rowan.
And, we're back. We skipped a week, but not on purpose. It wasn't Leighton's fault. It was mine, for those of you that didn't know, or maybe you knew. I don't know. Maybe we talked about it, but, I went to Texas. I did this comedy show. I went to Texas and did this 40-minute comedy show that I bombed. It was a 40-minute bomb I put together, I think.
Was it a bomb, though?
I don't know. People probably laugh, but it just wasn't what I was used to.
It wasn't the setting that you would generally do.
No, and that's the thing. But here's the thing, like in comedy-wise, before I get to this other stuff, comedy-wise, when I started in a comedy club. That was open mic, but I won the first open mic. I'm not going to tell the whole story, but I won the first open mic, come back the next week. I'm still in the comedy club. And then 5 weeks into it, they asked if I'd be the full-time host. So I'm still in the comedy club. And then people that you've heard of before would be there, and I would open for them. And then in time, I would feature for them. And it was all like comedy clubs. I've only done probably, I don't know. I mean, out of the 75 shows I've ever done, probably 5 of them were not in a comedy club.
Yeah.
So, when you do those, it makes it awkward. So,
well, yeah, because you feed off the crowd's energy.
It was probably fun. I mean, it was probably funny for whoever. I definitely said, I definitely told the stories that I wouldn't tell on this podcast, or I wouldn't even say at a local comedy club here, in case somebody knew me who would relate it to the story of the people I'm talking about. Yeah, that's the best part about doing shows back there. You can tell everything that you really want to say, but you're not scared to hurt their feelings because you got to stare them in the face all the time.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty.
Well, hold on. Did you say any jokes about me?
No, but I just.
Oh, okay.
About my.
About
my family.
Yeah.
About old cuz,
Yeah, cuz, yeah.
Yeah. So, it was pretty good. The only thing that was terrible, which I got home Sunday night and then I fly out Monday morning.
Yeah.
I've been in Pittsburgh. And so, but here's what I did in Pittsburgh, because this makes me laugh. My friend, he's been flying every week longer than I have, so he has more status, right? And he boards before I do, and he always sets up close. But he lives in Dallas. The thing about flying into Dallas or out of Dallas, it's a major hub for American.
Oh yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I think it's. I think it
from
is
what
the
I know,
American. I think that is the actual American hub there in Dallas. So the planes are always packed. Well, if you didn't buy the first class ticket, or you're not the very highest level, you're probably not going to get upgraded. Like he's higher than I am, but he doesn't get upgraded to first class. He's like 16th on the list.
Yeah.
All right. So having said all that, I've been flying into other areas and I get upgraded because. Well, from Tulsa, I don't want to go to Dallas because they're too packed, and so it's fine. I like the times better in other places. I always get upgraded. So anyway, the other day, the only flight option I had was to fly through Dallas, and he said, "You're not going to get upgraded." And I was like, "Listen, Cody, I'll probably get upgraded." He's like, "No, you won't here. I guarantee it. I'm way down the list, and I'm hiring you." So now, right when we got off the phone, because he told me that, I already bought the ticket, but I went back in and I upgraded it to first class. so I bought a first class ticket. And so I knew that when I got not going to Dallas, I didn't want to burn it there. I burned it on the longer portion from Dallas to Pittsburgh. Yeah. So we get in the airport. I meet him there because I have to fly in. So I leave at 6, get to the airport at 7. I meet up with him, and we're just talking, and it's like, "Oh, we're about to board." And he always goes before I do. And so the lady says, first class, whatever they say, group 1. And so I'm like, "Cody, what did they say?" He said group 1. I'm like, "Oh, shoot." So I grabbed my bag and took off walking. I think he thought that I was just playing or whatever, just because I always do that stuff to him. But I got on the plane. So then I'm sitting on the plane. The part of the story that makes it funny is I asked Cody what seat he was on that day. I knew what seat he was on when I bought the first class ticket. He sits on the very front row behind first class. So I picked the opposite row, very back of first class, where I could see him the whole flight. So I picked that seat purposely where he could see me in first class. I'm 5 feet away. I'll get to there. So anyway, so I load. So I board, and he gets on, and he's looking at me, shaking his head. I was like, "What, Cody?" And there's all first class is already on, and he's the first group, getting on. I was like, "What's up, Cody?" And he's like, "No." He's like, "Yeah, no, you bought it." I was like, "They upgraded me." He's like, "No." We're arguing while he's walking. I'm like, "No, I got upgraded, Cody." I was like, "Listen, I'm on the friends and family plan. I always tip the pilot and the waitress when I get the stewardess when I get off. Like they know me. I got upgraded. So that sucks. I hate to be your ticket." And so he's like, "No, prove it." What he didn't say prove. What did he say? He's like, "You're lying." He wanted me to show him. He's like, "Show him you got upgraded." I'm like, "I don't have to show you. Just get back there with listen, peasants, get in the back." So I already told the lady beside me I was going to say these things just so she wasn't sitting there offended. Well, anyway, I know on my leg, because it's a 3-hour trip, a 2-hour, you get to eat. Like they feed you they give you breakfast in first class, and they don't have it in the back. Yeah. So she brings it. She's like, "What? I don't remember what else they had," but she said, "and smoked salmon." I was like, "Yes, I'll take the smoked salmon, please." I was like, "Cody, you guys got smoked salmon back there?" And they don't get food, right? Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, I got my breakfast, and I was eating smoked salmon, and then I asked the lady if she would please shut the curtain so they couldn't see us in first class.
Did she shut them?
Yeah. But the curtain's holy, so you can see through it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't want him looking at me, like disturbing my smoked salmon.
That's awesome.
But I would fork it in there, and I would hold it up like smoked salmon, and I would, yeah, it was great. But I still haven't came off of it. I still got upgraded.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, he just doesn't know how to do it. He's not. I'm a different level.
He doesn't know how to finesse like you.
Yeah, I'm a different level.
You're like a king.
Yeah, but I know I told a lot of flight stories, but that's because I fly a lot. But then this past week coming home, I never heard this, which I was telling you earlier. If this lady was saying these words I'm about to say, if she was saying it to show off for her other flight attendant buddies, then it makes it funny.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. You know those, I don't know how to, I'm trying to be nice by wording. I'm not mouthing, but you know the pinup girls? Mm-hmm. Okay, but not the pinup girls that, I don't know the style. I don't know the style of dress you'd call it, but the pinup style of dress, but you know how there's those bigger ladies that cut bangs in their hair and have black eyeshadow. They're like pinup girls, but they're big. They're bigger ones. That's how this flight attendant looked. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Is that like burlesque?
Yeah, let's go that. That's good, because that'd be a good descriptive word. It was kind of like she was that style.
Yeah.
Even though she has a flight attendant suit, yes. That's what her hair and her makeup.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she was saying it to be funny, but she said, "Rubbish, rubbish, 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 rubbish," as she walked up and down the aisle with a trash bag,
a rubbish can, a rubbish bag.
Yeah, but what you don't know is how irritating. It was irritating. Like it was like, stop saying rubbish. Like rubbish, 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 rubbish.
But you know what's funny about the story that you're telling me?
What?
And it didn't hit me earlier when you told me. She may have knew what she was doing, but it reminds me of somebody who does repeat stuff over and over when he knows that it's driving other people nuts. So maybe that's just a little.
Me?
Yeah, maybe that's just a little bit of karma.
Yeah, that's my favorite game to do.
Exactly.
But I don't think she was doing it on purpose. I do it because I get humor out of it.
Exactly. So you're torturing Cody that whole time, and then you just hear rubbish, rubbish, rubbish.
I don't. Yeah, that was on the flight home. I mean, it was just irritating.
Well, that was the karma for.
Stop saying stop. Like it makes me mad. I'm like, and so there's this guy sitting beside me, and she had said it like 40 times. And I just looked at him, and I said, I'm like, what is rubbish? I was irritated. And he just started laughing real hard. I'm like, nobody says rubbish. Nobody says rubbish. Because I would have to look it up. Is that the word for trash in England or whatever?
It has to be.
Yeah,
I mean, at the very least, it's slang for trash over there.
And by the way, I know there's people in England that listen to this. To include one that lives in Oklahoma. So we're not mouthing your country, but
no.
but
Not yet.
well, don't say rubbish. There's just words I think that are real dumb.
Yeah,
that
and that's one
irritate
of
me.
them.
Yeah, on that same flight. Here's what I was telling. On that same flight. Well, I don't know how this was going to be a spinoff, but you know why Buc-ee's is? We probably said this on the show. Do you know why? You know why Buc-ee's is successful? The gas station
The
in
cleanliness.
Texas. Yeah. Yes.
Would be my.
Well, no, that's a fact. But I'm going to take it a step further. Do you know why they're so clean?
Mm-mm.
They don't allow semi trucks. They don't allow truckers there. When I say truckers, that makes it hard line like make fun of truckers.
Yes.
I'm not. I'm just saying. But there's a lot of over the road people that lots of them don't shower. But 4 or 5 days a week. So, I mean, that's a lot of showering. I mean, shower about once a week, probably.
Yes.
But and that's why you go in a truck stop bathroom and they always smell. Those are the worst smells a human being can come up with.
Oh yeah, just step into a Flying J for
Oh, it's terrible.
5 minutes.
Yeah, and the floors are dirty, and I know. I don't know if I've got into truck stops. I know I've talked about this before because that's when which I've said before 100 times. If I got to pee my pants, if I walk into a bathroom and there's pee all over the floor in front of the urinal, I will not step in the pee to pee. I
Same
will
here.
not do it.
I will walk out.
Well,
I don't care how bad I have to pee. I will walk out.
I will force the stream as far as I can. But when I run out of juice,
It just falls in the puddle.
I'm going to add to the puddle.
Yeah.
Because I'm not stepping in pee to pee. I can tell you that. But I'll push real hard, get it out there. So Buc-ee's, they don't allow truckers to go in there. And I was talking about the airport.
Yeah. I don't know how we got in Buc-ee's, but I like how that segued.
Well, that's like this microphone. If you can see it, if you're watching the video, I mean, it's like this is what truckers' microphones look like.
Yeah.
They got a headpiece on and a giant ball foam in front of their thing, and then it's over the top, and they're like two. Anyway, so a guy was on the plane acting like he was on a business call on one of those trucker headphones.
Oh my goodness.
You don't. I'm not saying the guy didn't have billions of dollars. I'm just saying I wouldn't say he's like a big time businessman because you wouldn't have had a trucker headset on having this talk. And he was a very large guy. And I don't remember why I even told that story. He reminded me of Flying J, probably. I don't.
Maybe.
Yeah. That was his nickname, was Flying J. So who you talking to, Flying J? He's like, let me get in this bathroom and blow it up for a minute. I got this headset on.
Have you ever been in one of those? Well, I don't know how they work, so maybe it's like you have to have some kind of qualification. But have you been to one of those trucker showers?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Have you?
No.
Okay. All right. I'll listen. People need to hear this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't remember what job I had, but I worked for a company. It was oil and gas, but I didn't fly. Then I would drive wherever it was at because it was projects. That's why I would drive. So I had a company vehicle, but I would just drive to where it was at. Well, sometimes you had to get there sooner than you wanted to, and I wouldn't stay in hotels sometimes. I would just pull over at a truck stop and sleep in the vehicle. And so I did this one time, and after what I'm about to tell you, I've done it numerous times. So I was at this place. I think it was outside of West Virginia. Southern Ohio is where I was at. I was headed to West Virginia. And I pull over to truck stop. I go to sleep. I wake up in the morning. I'm like, I need to take a shower. And I walked into the shower thinking it was going to be disgusting because it's a truck stop bathroom. To include your Loves and Flying J's and all that. Because these same disgusting holes, when you go pay for the shower, when you walk in, it's spotless.
Really?
And it smells like bleach, and there's fresh towels. Yeah, because those are the people that pay money. They make sure that those areas are super clean, and they have their own private toilet. So so if you ever had to take a shower, if you were to ever do that, I would prefer a hotel room. But if you did that, they're like immaculate.
Yeah. See, I would have never thought that. That's why I asked.
Yeah, it's I was like fascinated by it. So much to where I've done it more than once, and even one time I was coming home. I was on my way home. I wasn't even staying the night at a truck stop, but I was dirty, and I just went and took a shower in the place.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Never knew that.
Yeah, it's pretty clean. Speaking of clean showers, there's a new king.
Yeah, there is. I was wondering how you're going to tie those two together.
I was trying to tie it in with a trucker headset guy. But
Well, if you go back and listen, you said you ended a story. Oh, your first class, and I was like, yeah, your first class like a king. And then you missed it. I was like, well, that's going to be awkward.
Yeah, the coronation.
Yes.
I'm about to say the coordination.
Yep.
So you said let's bring it up, and I got excited about it, but I didn't get excited because I watched it. I was mad. I woke up. I believe I was home. So was it Friday morning or Saturday morning? It was one of those 2 mornings, and I got up at
Friday morning is when it was.
6:30.
I believe.
On Friday, I got up at 6. But by the time I looked at my phone, so I don't know where it fell time-wise. I mean, obviously, because they're a little ahead of us. It had already happened. Like, oh, there's a new king.
Mm-hmm.
So I turned on the coverage, and it was whatever news source, and it was just talking about. It was just going over it. But I wanted to watch it because I watched that show, The Crown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So ever since I watched that, I got into it, but when we brought it up for the show, you said, "Why do people?"
Yeah, I don't want it to sound rude. I'm genuinely curious. Why do Americans care about who's king and queen and all that?
I don't believe for 1 second. I don't think for 1 second Americans actually care who the king is. I don't think they care. I don't think they. Nobody thinks their world's going to change because who the king or queen is.
They're just
I
fascinated.
think it's out of fascination.
Okay.
Yeah, because here we don't have it.
Well, I asked that because if you do watch some of those news stations, just the way they talk about it and the energy that they put into it make it seem like it's going to have an effect on us.
The energy.
Yeah, it's just...
Look at how beautiful Camilla is.
Yes.
They hated Camilla for 25 years. And they're like, she kneeled like a royal. That's just stupid.
Yeah, I mean, they just get wrapped up into it. I think it's really nerdy, but...
No, it is. Like the whole thing's dumb, but I think just because it doesn't make any sense to us.
No.
And honestly, the more and more liberal the world's getting, people even there are like, why is there a special family that?
Yep.
Why do we have to bow down to them? Why do we?
Yep.
What do you guys do?
Yeah.
And to be honest, yeah. What did you do, Charles?
Mm-hmm.
And now some of this is crown based. Some people not gonna like Queen Elizabeth. Some people I'm sure didn't like her either, just because they didn't like the way it all is, the way it falls, the way they're treated. But at least she tried to maintain this most down the middle way of life she could, and you never heard her talk about politics. And I know from The Crown that wasn't her thing anyway. This Charles guy, he's been a scandal guy for 35 years.
Yep.
Like. That's why people were saying, move aside, Charles. Just let Prince Harry be the guy. Or wait, Harry?
No, Harry's the one that nobody likes.
Is that Harry and Meghan Markle?
Charles.
Yeah, no.
Isn't it Charles?
No. Is it Charles?
I
No,
think
Charles he's King Charles now.
Oh, yeah.
Who is it?
I don't know. The other brother.
Prince Bobby.
Yeah, the other brother.
Harry and
Harry and Meghan. That's the only.
Is it Charles? See, this is funny because every person in England right now is like, don't you ever disrespect the monarchy. I have no idea that Kate and
I think it is Charles.
Chuck.
It's not Chuck. That's the most American thing. King Chuck.
Is it Charles?
It's Charles.
I don't think it's Charles. William. It's Prince William.
That's what it is. I told you it was William.
Yeah. So people are saying, for people who listen to the podcast, they're like, it's William, and they've been saying it for 45 seconds.
Like these freaking idiots.
It's William, you moron.
Yeah.
But I think or people were saying, don't let Charles do it. Let William be the guy. Why are you wasting your time?
Yeah.
And honestly, because his mom lasted so long, Prince Charles. I mean, you're only going to be the king for like 8 years.
Yeah.
Just give it up, man.
Yep.
And you're not going to be good at it.
No.
You're going to be full of scandal.
Well, he's already hated, so.
Yeah.
And then his brother, what's his name?
Do you want to know how people are actually viewed in the world? Just watch South Park. That's how the world views them.
Yeah.
It's more accurate than people would like to give them credit for, depending on who is offended that day.
Yep.
And I'm not saying I'm a hardcore. I'm not. But I'll go watch. If I'm reading some kind of news report and it ever mentions South Park, if South Park ever actually gets mentioned in a real news story, I'm like, well, I got to watch that one. So I'll go find them and watch them. So I don't know. And then so Camilla's the lady too, and she was the mistress. And I didn't know this before. I didn't know this was going to be the Crown show.
Yeah.
But I was watching it, and there was a 80s humiliation when he was still with Princess Diana because he was like cheating on the side. Yeah, Chuck. Hey, King Chuck, let's just give it to Willie. Let's let Willie do it. Yeah. You think Harry's out?
He's out. Yeah. Well, it probably depends on, from here at least, it probably depends on where you get your news from, because the extreme right say that he's hated. And even that, I think that's also the confusing part, is like the certain groups here, how much they're invested in the love-hate with them. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, because nothing they do affects us.
No, so why
Charles is coming to Canada.
No, the thing that I saw was like, what's his name? Harry. Harry's going to the coronation, and he's flying right out 2 hours later because it's his son's birthday. What a disgusting person.
Yeah, he's mad.
I'm like, it's his son's birthday.
Did he show?
But they were mad that he was leaving right afterwards to go celebrate his son's birthday.
I wouldn't want to go there. It's just
odd.
Because here's what I don't know, and maybe you guys can know for me because I'm not going to check it. But
yeah, if you
does
guys,
he have to bow to Camilla? Does Harry have to bow to Camilla now?
The mistress?
I wouldn't bow to that skank.
Yeah.
Or no, you can't say that. Sorry, it's a family show.
Oh.
Let me say that backwards. I wouldn't bow to that Connects.
I'm leaving all that in.
So,
if you guys want to educate us on this topic, just go to speakpipe.com/life and times.
Once again,
speakpipe.com/life and times.
Yeah. Yeah, hit us up there. We only have like 3 people call into that, huh?
We have a new one.
These are terrible viewers. Call in.
Yeah, we see the numbers on like how many people listen and watch, you know?
Yeah, call in.
Call in. Stop being weird. We did have another one, but it was a troll one, so I didn't bother to.
Same troll?
Same troll.
Yeah, we have a troll on SpeakPipe.
Yeah.
SpeakPipe?
Yeah, SpeakPipe.
Yeah, we got a troll on SpeakPipe, and he calls in all the time, and you never know where he's from. That goes.
This time he was a retired veteran, so.
Oh, well, this is good. Yeah, you never know where the troll comes from.
Yeah, I hate trolls.
Yeah, he probably didn't know how to spell anyway. Yeah. Well, so what else? What's that?
Well, we were talking about news, and then I brought up, and I don't know how dicey this is. Kids don't do drugs. But I wanted to talk about fentanyl because the same time.
This is good. It's a good segue. Hey, Prince Chuck, let's talk about this fentanyl.
And this might not even be a long discussion depending on what
he's not I'm sorry. He's a king. My bad, King
yeah,
Chuck.
put some respect on his name.
Yeah, go ahead. All right, go ahead.
This, depending on what you have to go off of this, I don't understand why they report, and I'm saying they because I don't. Long story short, my boss watches the same news network every single morning, and I hate it. I don't care if it's CNN or Fox News. I hate both of them, but he watches one of those. And the way that they talk about fentanyl is funny to me because the people that they have on will be like, well, it's not funny. Let me retract that. But it'll be like a parent, and the child passed away because of an overdose. And they'll be like, yeah, we're just really sad because that was not like Timmy. Timmy was going to buy meth and he ended up with fentanyl. And then the news hosts are like, the fentanyl is just such a problem. I'm like, well, he was going to buy meth anyways. What did you think was going to happen?
I don't know. I have had these thoughts. I'm for sure not going to tell this story, but somewhere in the family somebody was attached, and so I always thought that also because you know who doesn't die from that? Regular people.
Yeah. So, like I don't
That'd be like my wife being like, I'm going to go to Dollar General. Then somebody calling like, hey, your wife picked up some fentanyl in the cheese aisle. So.
Exactly. Like if it was like that, like, oh, Charlie ate a piece of cheese and then died because fentanyl was in it. Okay.
We're going to send your wife to urgent care. She ate some. she didn't eat it.
She ate some fentanyl cheese again.
Yeah. She was in the Dr. Pepper aisle and picked up some fentanyl.
And don't get me wrong, it is a problem. I'm not saying that it's not a problem, but to be outraged because somebody took.
I've never smoked a cigarette, so like
exactly.
So when I hear this stuff on TV, I'm like, what?
Like just don't do meth.
I got a simple solution for that.
Yeah.
It's called abstinence.
Yeah, like don't do meth, and then you probably wouldn't end up with fentanyl accidentally.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you say it too much, somebody's gonna get their feelings hurt over this deal. But I just literally just don't do it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll even have sympathy for like an addict because they get so deep in a rabbit hole to where for some of them they don't know how to get out of it. So I have sympathy for them, but it's hard to be outraged about something because at the end of the day they're still doing hard drugs that no matter what could take their life at any moment. They could take too much. They could use unsanitary things.
My cousin was deep in a rabbit hole the other day. Did I tell that story on the
podcast?
So.
I don't think so.
I probably didn't, but it's on Facebook, so I'm
the same rabbit hole as the
near-death experience.
Yeah, we did. We covered that.
I did talk about it on the podcast? Yeah, that's free reign. You put that on Facebook. I don't know. Yeah. My cousin had a near-death experience, if you don't remember. She went down a rabbit hole. She thought it was all closing in on her. And
then she heard Alexa's voice.
Did we say that on the podcast?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I always envisioned God's voice as like Morgan Freeman, but apparently it's Alexa.
Yeah, just God changed his voice about 6 years ago. So now he sounds like Alexa.
I got you.
Yeah, it was Siri, and then we switched over to Alexa.
I got you.
Yeah, apparently. I don't. What did I do? Oh, yeah. I was going to say Pittsburgh. So I went to this Pirates game the other day. This is a public service announcement for anybody.
Oh, yeah. Pirates Dodgers, right?
Yeah. Yeah, because I was going to say this. So I go to sporting events when I'm in Pittsburgh. And I'll buy tickets that are more, not crazy expensive, but I'll buy expensive tickets for the experience because it's not like I do it all the time. Now, I went to a few Penguins games, but I always buy it, like home plate. I sit behind home plate, or if I'm at the Penguins games, I'll sit right on the glass. If I'm at football games, I actually don't sit down low because I can't see the field. I can't see the whole field. If you get too low, the guys' helmets are in the way. So it's like, I don't like that. Well, anyway, so I always buy these expensive tickets. I went to the Pirates game, and so the first game I went to this year, and I bought tickets in the home plate club, which is right behind home plate. Well, what I didn't know, I didn't just buy them to get behind home plate. I looked it up, and I was like, do I get to go in that club? And once I figured out I did, I went ahead and bought them. So I walked in, and I ate prime rib and pork tenderloin. It was whatever vegetables I had, and whatever you wanted to drink, whatever dessert you wanted, all the fruits, everything. Like this whole, listen to this whole smorgasbord. It was a whole smorgasbord, and it was unbelievable. Well, they open an hour before it starts, so that's just eating, pregame.
Eating all those succulent meats.
Oh, yeah. So many succulent meats.
Yeah.
So then I go downstairs because downstairs is because right behind home plate. So I go down, and downstairs there is another lounge that everything you want to drink, ice cream, pretzels, nachos, hot dogs, hamburgers, popcorn, Cracker Jacks, which they called Cracker Jills in honor of women's sports commemorative Cracker Jills. That's what they were. M&M's, Skittles, hot tamales, everything in the world you want, and as much as you want. You could, if you wanted to try to be diabetic by 9 o'clock, that's the best place to go.
And it was included in the ticket price?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So the ticket was $170. But it was 124 and it was taxes because StubHub.
Yeah.
Yeah, but see, you say that, but if I just go buy a regular ticket, and if you buy it through StubHub, even the cheap ones end up being $60, $70 because of the,
I gave you that look because that's a deal. Because then you go buy what you ate for $30.
Yeah, I'm behind home plate. All the hot dogs were like $12. I ate like 6 of them.
I was wondering why you're looking so dashing today.
It's the most unbelievable thing ever.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
It was really awesome, and I was right behind home plate. So I know a lot of, if you don't pay attention to baseball, you're not going to know what it is. But Andrew McCutcheon was, he's back, and so that game, he's like from me to the camera, like right in front of me, warming up, and he had a home run in second at bat. And it was unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome. But the only thing that's weird because baseball has this new timer.
Oh yeah.
So home runs make it weird because McCutcheon hits a home run. He's the big name for them. Not just because he's an all-star, but he's like a legend there in Pittsburgh also, and he just came back this year. So he hits that home run. The whole crowd's going nuts. But because of the timer, he steps across home plate. He's jogging back into his dugout. Back in the day, if it were some kind of monumental thing, if you were to step out and tip your hat or whatever, you don't got time. That batter's already in the batter's box before he even gets in the dugout, and the pitcher's already starting to throw the next pitch. So it's odd because everybody's still clapping, like fired up for the home run, and these guys are throwing pitches.
Yeah, that is weird.
It makes it really odd. But anyway, it's a good time. I'm not saying I'm going to do that every single time, but I'm just saying you're crazy if you don't do that.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, that's a fine community there in Pittsburgh.
I wonder if it's as good as the Tulsa Drillers Cadillac Club.
Oh, I bet. Where's that at?
In the Driller Stadium.
A whole Cadillac Club.
Yeah. That's what they call it, but it's somewhat of the same idea. You get up on the balcony seats and you can get food and stuff like that, but you got to pay for all that extra.
Now, I do go to the Drillers game once a year with my friend Nick, and Nick works for this company that they have their own suite. Mm-hmm. So we always go there. When we go...
Yeah, it's up there with the suites.
Yeah, well, the Cadillac thing is. So when we go up there, there's that area where... I think they got cheap on us. I remember the first time we went, I think we just ate it. Either we just didn't pay or we were supposed to. I don't know. But the first year we ate all we wanted there and we didn't pay at all. And the next year, somebody was back there and you had to pay.
Yep.
But the first year I'm telling you about, I think we ate early before somebody. This is what I think happened. I don't think the worker was back there yet when they first wheeled the food out. So everybody was just like forking it up and like big high quality meats, and we were fired up. We were full. And we walked back in and there was a server, but we had already ate. We were full.
Yeah.
Year two, they were charging.
Yeah.
I think we just scammed them. Not on purpose, but I think we did. Yeah, I'm gonna pray for myself this week.
Yeah, you should.
So it's I like the Drillers games, and I'm glad it's summertime. You don't like summertime?
I mean, we don't ever get a spring or a fall, so I mean, I'll take summer, I guess. No ASMR this time.
No,
I mean, I love summertime. I like being outdoors and stuff like that, but my allergies are just so bad.
I'm so thirsty. So, your allergies are bad. Yeah, listen, this is how this went yesterday. So for those of you, well, they know because if you listen all the time, I mowed all last year. And so I'm gonna kick it up for a few people. Not quite the same manner I did last year, but I'm still gonna do it. Leighton acts like he can't walk across his grass or his nose runs, and so he's like, I don't want to mow my yard. You do it. I said okay. Now I don't remember how long ago you told me to do that. Month ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, but my mower literally was in service for 3 weeks. For 3 weeks. Yeah, okay. So my friend dropped it off because I was in Pittsburgh. I called him the next day. I was like, hey, my friend dropped my mower off. I was just checking. How long does this usually take? He's like, I usually take about 2 days. I'm like, okay, sounds good. I call 3 days later. I was like, yeah, just checking on my mower. He's like, oh, I was getting ready to call you right now. He was just getting ready to call me right that second.
Yep.
And he's like, waiting on this little part, and I'm going to check on your tires. I was like, okay. So I wait a couple days, and I called. I was like, yeah, just checking. Now, here's the thing. Had he told me the first conversation, like, it'll be 2 weeks, I'd be like, okay. That would have been it.
Oh yeah, exactly.
So I call him every like 2 or 3 days, and he was always just about to call me, and it should be ready tomorrow, and it never is ready tomorrow. 3 weeks later, I just got my mower yesterday morning. So I roll up into Leighton's yard, and I text. I was like, when I'm pulling up, his yard's mowed. So I like text, and I was like, it appears as though your yard is mowed, and he wrote yes. By the way, I was on his very front porch on my mower, staring at his front door. And he just wrote yes.
I didn't know any of this stuff.
I just sat there. My mower's on in your front door.
I was upstairs.
And I was sitting there and he just says yes. So I'm like, well, okay. So I drove off. Turns out he's in his house the whole time. I have no idea.
The doorbell didn't go off, and he didn't say, hey, I'm outside on my mower.
Because, was your truck here?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just seemed desolate.
I just thought you would have, beeped your horn on the mower or something to get my attention.
I don't have one of those. I was looking at some attack. That's probably podcast worthy. I'm going to say, because I started. I was looking at some lights, to put on there, so I could bright light them at nighttime. I'll be a top yard mower in the dark if I get those headlights. I mowed in the headlights last year. It was my buddy's mower. Anyway, nobody wants to hear about mower.
Nobody
All
cares.
right, listen, love everybody. Thanks for listening in this week, and put Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. I believe he's closer. I believe he's a step closer now.
You think so?
Yeah, we're really doing our part. We're reaching out there, touching 2,000 lives a week, So yeah, roughly. Let's say.
Go Heat, go.
Yeah, go. Yeah, you guys just tell O Pete. And, before we get off, once again, I'd like to congratulate King Chuck.
King Chuck and what's the other dude's name?
King Chuck and Camilla. Prince Willie.
Yeah, Prince Willie. King Chuck and Prince Willie.
Yeah. Good to see you guys. Thanks for listening, King Chuck and Prince Willie. Have a good week. Love everybody.